What's up, it's you? For today's video, we're in full Honedge evolution team. So we got Honedge, we got Doublade, and we got Aegislash and both of its forms. We got the abilities Stance, Change, and No Guard. So not lots of abilities to work with here, but pretty handy abilities. I'll be using 3 of each of these and a full team of 6 using the normals and the shinies. I did a double upload today, so if you haven't checked out the Pokemon The First Movie team, I did that a couple of hours ago. If you want to check me out on Twitch, links in the description of the video. Let's get into these battles. I've got 2 of them. First battle, this is against Malzvar. This was actually a fairly long battle, exactly like something else. So we got a Shedinja lead, which is interesting. Now, my first Pokemon is going to be a Honedge lead. Now, this Honedge is a Attract, Block, Swagger, and Toxic set. The good thing about this is I've got Toxic, so I can get around Shedinja if it does have a Focus Sash. So I'm guessing they're probably assuming I'm going to go for a Ghost move. So the first move our Shedinja is going to do is going to be Will-O-Wisp, which is going to burn me, which doesn't really matter all that much because I don't have any attacking moves. Now, the EV spread on this is max health and max special defense, and I gave it sassy nature. I've got the item Everlight, so it's very bulky on the special defense side. You know, the Honedge evolution all have really good defense already, which definitely helps. So that's going to be the addition unit at the start of the battle. Very nice there, getting past that. Imagine if it had a Lumberry, I would have been pretty salty. Next Pokemon is going to be the Ninjask. It's a golden Ninjask. I really need to do a Nincada evolution team with Shedinja, Ninjask in there. I need to do that. I've got to make sure I do that sometimes. Anyway, so we got the Ninjask going for the Substitute. One of its normal moves there, it's going to have leftovers. So I think they're going to try and pass like a stat or something like that, like obviously speed, but maybe something else, maybe attack. I don't really know at this stage. So I've got to bring out my Honedge here, otherwise I'm going to get completely wrecked, and I'm going to go into my Doublade. Now I have to say this evolution line has very nice shinies, very good. I do say so myself. But if you enjoy the thing, teams, 2 people, please drop a like. That only takes a second and helps me out and helps you out because it sees you in the subscription box. So we got some more leftover recovery on the Ninjask. It's going to be going for double team. Now, the only bad thing about going for double team is Doublade's got no guard, so that's not really going to matter too much, at least if I'm using, Doublade. So I've got a Fury Cutter, Automize, Destiny Bond, and Power Trick set. Let's go for this one. So I've got max speed and I've got max defense. What I'm going to do with Power Trick is obviously swap my defense and attack around. So since I gave it like max defense, it's going to have like an enormous amount of attack. Not much, like not like Shuckles sort of like Power Trick, but still like a lot of attack. And then what I can do is use Automize to boost my speed by 2 stages and start spamming Fury Cutter, right? Fury Cutter is such a powerful move, so I've got to use that. It's got the item Everlight, and of course we've got No Guard as ability. So Ninja's going to keep going for these double teams here. I'm guessing it's going to be a problem against my other Pokemon like my Aegislash, but not so much against Doublade and my Honedge there. So I'll be trying to use them if this Fury Cutter Doublade does actually faint. But I may have to bring in Aegislash, we'll just see. So Ninjask is pretty much back to full health there. It's got a lot of speed boost. These Pokemon aren't really that fast either, except when you get into Aegislash Blade form. So finally, the Ninjask is going to go for its Baton Pass, and it's going to pass off all those little, those double teams, which is not very nice at first, trust me. So we got the Aselgor coming in. Now, I'm not sure if this is the theme team or anything like that. If someone does spot a theme team, as usual, put it below in the comment section. Always like to see those different things. And we're going to have the Substitute faded by the Fury Cutter, which is great. Now Aselgor is going to go for a Water Shuriken. So I was like, oh, okay. So it's got double team and Water Shuriken. Maybe it's got King's Rock or something scummy like that. Now Water Shuriken is going to hit a couple of times right here, which is going to be 3. And I'm going to go for Fury Cutter again. Fury Cutter is going to take Aselgor all the way down to 1 health because they're going to Focus Sash. Like, okay, interesting. Now Aselgor is going to go for its attacking move again. So it's not going to have King's Rock, so it's pretty much just a multi-hitting thing. I guess they can't miss with me having No Guard, but even if this hit like 5 times, it would have, even if it hit 5 times on both, it wouldn't have actually taken him out there. So bye-bye Aselgor. If I didn't have Everlight, that would have been another story. It would have been able to take me out. Next Pokemon we got here is going to be Thievul, so this is quite a scary Pokemon, and it's going to go for Shadow Ball. So like, okay, well, I know it's special attack, it's okay, but I might badly live this, and it took me, I was like, okay, fair enough, that's the end of Doublade there. I like how it drops its swords too. Next Pokemon we got here is going to be my Honedge. This is my other Honedge. I think I might, like, I like how it's got, like, it's red. It's like it's got, like, blood on the sword. So I've got Sword Dance, Shadow Seek, Garaball, and Sacred Sword. This is a Max Health, Max Stack, Brave Nature set with Everlight. I sometimes like to run Choice Band on this too, but went with Everlight so I can get a Sword Dance up there. But my Honedge is going to get demolished. It's like, man, I have to take this this Thievul out. This thing is like absolutely destroying my team. So going to Aegislash is a Steel Beam, Shadow Ball, King Shield, and Shockwave set. I ran a special one. At this stage, I wasn't really up for going for Steel Beam because I didn't want to lose, like, that much of my life, and I knew that Thievul would be doing, like, a lot of damage too. So I had to make sure I could, take this thing out before I got swept by it. So I've got the EV spread as max speed, timid nature, and max special attack. And we've got stand changes, ability, obviously, and I've got leftovers as the item, which worked well with, King Shield and Steel Beam too. So I'm going to be going to get hit here by a Shadow Ball. That did a heap of damage. That would have nearly one-shotted me. So stance change are going to come into effect here. I do like how it actually changes when you're in Dynamax too, which is really cool, into the Blade form. And now I can go for the Max Steel Spike. It's going to be very, very powerful. And I'm not going to have the nasty effect of losing half my health from Steel Beam too. So that is going to be the end of the Thievul. But the thing about Thievul, right, it wasn't a Thievul. It was a Zoroark. So I had a little bit of suspect earlier on because I'm like, that's hitting a little bit too hard. Like, I know Thievul can run a special set, but normally it hits like a lot harder with like needs a nasty plot-up to do some sort of damage there. But Zoroark's got very, very good stats. So next Pokemon is Thievul. Now it's the second Thievul, people, and it's going to be shiny as well. The shiny actually looks pretty good, I've got to say. So we got a Dynamax Thievul here, not something you get to see very often. So I'm still in my Blade form here, and I hope to do some sort of damage to this thing, but I'm not sure yet how much. Probably maybe over half health, maybe if I can go lucky. Depends on the what the EV spread of the opposing Thievul is going to be. So Thievul is going to be going first and getting a Max Darkness off here, and yeah, my Blade is going to get wrecked. So that's the end of my Aegislash Blade. Poor thing is going to get wrecked, but I've still got 3 other Pokemon. I had to get around that other Pokemon before. If I didn't Dynamax, it would have been bad. So I've got my Honedge left here. This is this is the one from the start. So I thought to swap this in because I do have Everlight, so I might be able to take its attacking move. And I did. I took it very well because if you remember, the EV spread was max health and max special defense. So I only just lived it, but that was very good because that's actually going to stall out the last turn of Dynamax. And on top of that, I also got a little Toxic, which is good there. Just some extra damage on Thievul. I mean, normally Thievul isn't very bulky, so most of the time you can generally one-shot it or do a lot of damage to it. So maybe it might be put it in that range. So here comes Max Phantasm. That's the end of my Honedge. So it wasn't a bad idea disguising the Thievul with the Zoroark there. So bye-bye, Honedge. I've got 2 more Pokemon left here, and I've got a Doublade and a Aegislash left. So this Doublade, yes, this one. So this was the special one. So I've got Throat Spray, I've got Metal Sound, which is pretty cool, with no guard, so it's never going to miss, because Metal Sound's pretty shaky in accuracy. I've got Flash Cannon and Shockwave, another Shockwave Pokemon, but on the special side, it was a little bit limited, so I doubled up on Shockwave. So here comes Foul Play, and that actually did a lot of damage, which is pretty nice to Doublade. I've got a pretty powerful Flash Cannon coming here. Look at that damage, people. I mean, special Doublade with a crit, Its special attack is horrendous. So unfortunately, I'm going to get wrecked this next turn, probably. So Thievul is going to take some damage here, but unfortunately, it's got that Citrus Berry, so it's going to remain in a decent amount of health. And now it's going to go for Dank Pulse. That's definitely going to be there in Doublade for sure. And I've only got 1 more Pokemon left now, which is Aegislash. So I've got a decent set on this Aegislash. It's probably more of a competitive set. Now, let me tell you what that one is. So I've got Jolly Nature, sorry, not Adamant Nature, and Max Speed and Max Attack. I've got King Shield, Iron Head, Shadow Claw. Iron Head, Shadow Claw, pretty standard moves on a physical set. And I've got Head Smash on there too for something a little bit interesting. I can smash through some of those fire types. And I've got the item Quick Claw on there. I contemplated going max health and max attack, but I thought, no, I might actually need my speed. So I went for the King Shield, and Thievul is going to die to the toxic damage from my Honedge earlier on. So it's funny because when you think about it, that actually, that would contribute to a lot of the damage on Thievul, so that was quite important. So Ninjash is the next Pokemon. I know what they're going to try and do. They're going to try and get some, speed boost onto the last Pokemon. I'm going to make sure I definitely attack this thing, and I'm going to be going for Iron Head here. So I'm just going to break Ninjash's substitute, so at least you know, if they do baton pass, I'm going to be able to do some damage to them, you know, swapping in, all right? So the last Pokemon is actually a, you know, fairly fast Pokemon already, so they won't need too many speed boosts, you know, to outspeed my Blade Aegislash. But yeah, I always thought in X and Y when I first seen Aegislash typing the Steel and Ghost, I was like, man, that's possibly some of the best typing we've ever had. But then we're going to get, you know, Normal and Ghost for Zoroark in the future. So hopefully Gen 9 will have that in there. I think it's already been in there or confirmed or whatever. But yeah, it's going to be really, really interesting to see those really, like, powerful, you know, type combinations. So Ninja's going to get another speed boost, and they pretty much just kept using Substitute and speed boost over and over and over again, right? I think I went for, I was actually wanting to go for Head Smash, but I didn't really want to risk it, like, multiple times there, because one, it could miss, and then, you know, they'd be able to pass a Substitute on. So I had to keep this Ninjash not be able to pass any Substitutes on at all. And the last Pokemon, it was weak to Head Smash too, but you know, as with Head Smash, you know, it's a little bit inaccurate. So Ninja's going to get another speed boost. Finally, they're going to go for Baton Pass here. I think that +1 in speed would have been enough for the last Pokemon, but it might be a different sort of EV build, so I'm not really sure. Last Pokemon is going to be Crobat, so it's a shiny Crobat. I went for Shadow Claw here, obviously, and that did a lot of damage. It did over half of, you know, Crobat itself. Now, Crobat has got the Black Sludge there, so any attacking move should be able to take it up. But just in case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go for the stance change and go for King Shield, because if it's a physical set, that'll help. If it's a special set, well, I think I'm toast because it's going to use Heat Wave. So it turned out to be a physical set there. Leech Life won't do a lot of damage, and it's going to drop, you know, Crobat's up. Well, it won't do any damage because I use King Shield, but, you know, say if it did hit me. So it's got the Leech Life and the Black Sludge. Now it's going to go for Leech Life here. It is going to get like a tiny little bit of health left, but it's nothing, you know, it's I think like 1 or 2 health there, whatever. So not too much. Now what I'm going to do, I've got to go for the stance change. Yep. Changed my stance, and I think I went for Head Smash here. Yeah, I did, and it freaking missed. I was like, oh man, I should have just gone for Shadow Claw there. But Crobat didn't have much to hit me with all, so I was like, well, I'll just do it the next set. Now Crobat's going to go for Brave Bird, but I actually, you know, this typing, you know, resists Crobat's moves heavily, so I can simply go for a Shadow Claw or an Iron Head and take Crobat. Last Pokemon is going to be the Ninjask, which we've seen earlier on, but I'm pretty sure this Ninjask has all statuses, like I think I double team, I had Baton Pass, stuff like that. So I got a quick little activation on a Head Smash, and I think they just cancelled the battle because I didn't have any attacking moves on there. But pretty much it was a dub anyway. Take it with the battle mouse. Let's be real. My Head Smash would have missed anyway. Let's get on to battle number 2 here. This one was against Super Bowser, and man, this was a really, really long battle as well. There's plenty of souls in here too. So the first Pokemon we got here is going to be Drifblim. So it's a Ghost type Pokemon. So I want to make sure I can probably get rid of this, you know, being a Ghost type and stuff like that. So his first move is going to use, it's not going to be a Ghost move, it's going to be Will-O-Wisp. So I'm like, ah, man, that really, really sucks. So my Honedge is going to go for Toxic here, so I poisoned it, and you know, that's going to be handy, I guess, over time. Now, I was worried, because if Drifblim had the move I thought it would, being Hex, I'd get hit very, very hard. Even though I'm running like a special defense set, I know it's going to like do a lot of damage. And Drifblim's special attack, you know, is pretty good. So it is going to use Hex. I knew it, and here comes the Hex, and I lived that. Only because I'm running a super, super bulky set. So this time I went for Swagger here, and I'm going to increase the Drifblim's attack. What I wanted to do was try and make it hit itself in confusion, and you know, that would do a fair bit of damage to it after maybe like another one. So some extra damage for the Drifblim, so I thought, well, Swagger and Drifblim, you know, and the Toxic should do some good damage. Then they swapped Drifblim out. It's like, oh, okay, that sucks. And the next Pokemon to come in here is going to be the Ivysaur. So Ivysaur is going to get hit by my Swagger. I think this is my last turn because I'm going to faint the Toxic. I didn't see a lot of action. Sorry, not Toxic, the burn there. Imagine poison. You have to have like a Slazzle with corrosion, its corrosion ability to poison Steel type. So wait, this is my last turn. So Ivysaur is confused from the Swagger, and then it hit itself. It's like, okay, that's really, really good. It actually did a pretty good amount of damage to itself too. So I'm going to go for yet another Swagger here, taking full advantage of my No Guard ability, and that's going to have +4 in attack. So I thought that's why, you know, Swagger would be really good, because I would never miss, you know. So that's the end of the Honedge, but that's how it was. And we got the Doublade coming in. So this is the Fury card set. So I thought, well, I want to see if I can actually get this fully set up. So I feel like I might have time to go for, you know, Power Trick and then Automize and then start using Fury card over and over again. That was the plan anyway. So Ivysaur, unfortunately, is going to not get confused, and it's going to set up a Leech Seed, which sucks. And since I've got No Guard too, there's no chance of it missing. No Guard's a good ability, but it's bad because it can be used against you as well. It's good, but it's bad. You know what I mean? So if you're ever praying for like, oh well, the opponent's got like a low accuracy move, like, oh, there's a low chance of them hitting this, but it's still going to land. So it's good for you, but bad for you at the same time. It's a double-edged sword. I've done it again, people. So anyway, it's going to hit itself in confusion there, which is great. But it is still getting some sustain from the Leech Seed, which is kind of bad. So it's able to sort of have a good amount of health left still. So it's going to be swapping out there, and we got the Drifblim coming back in. I probably called it Drifblim earlier on. They're both balloons, all right. Someone was roasting me the other day in the comment section about like me including this on the jellyfish team. If you haven't seen the jellyfish Pokemon team, I did that recently. But seriously, if you take the fact away that it is a balloon, it actually does sort of look like a jellyfish, like its tentacle, like how they not their stance. I don't know how they sit in the water, because they've got like the tentacle things. I guess you could. I don't know what you'd even call them. The little arm things on Drifblim. They sort of look like tentacles hanging down in the water, and you take the little cloud away from its head. It does sort of look like a jellyfish. I know it's a little bit of a stretch, but that was my last Pokemon. But back to the battle anyway at hand here. So we got the Leech Seed still healing up this Drifblim, but it is doing good damage with Toxic. So I'm confident I can get this Fury Cutter going, hopefully. Now, I actually kept going for Fury Cutter. I almost went for Destiny Bond at this stage, and I didn't. I was like, no, I'll just keep going for Fury Cutter. It's not going to do much anyway. And imagine if they go for a status move. So I went for Fury Cutter. Ivysaur went in, and it actually did pretty good damage. Like, man, that's actually nice. I might actually be able to take this Ivysaur out the next turn, because I've got quite a few of them upright. And Ivysaur, it definitely is an Everlight set, obviously, you can tell. So I'm going to go for Fury Cutter again, and obviously I'm going to need, like, another one of them. Ivysaur's got Mind Whip. What the hell? It did, like, 1 damage to me. And so we're going to have Leech Seed and Burn damage here. So I've got one more turn to take this Ivysaur out. I thought, well, if I use Destiny Bomb, it's probably going to use the status move, So I went for Fury Cutter, and says like it's going to use the status move. I know it is, and it did. It tried to like use my favorite healing move, so it was a good thing I didn't go for Destiny Bomb there, because I wouldn't have got as much damage. Like Ivysaur would have been back to full health nearly. So that's going to be the end of Doublade and this stupid stalling Ivysaur, my poor Fury Cutter. So, wait, Fury Cutter, Ivysaur. I've done it again. So Ivysaur is going to have some more health recovery there. And now we're going to go Aegislash. I've got to take a Pokemon out here. I'm going to get roasted right now. So this is the Steel Beam set. So I was like, I'm not Dynamaxing against an Ivysaur, because I'm going to get roasted for that. So I'm going to go for Steel Beam here and just take this thing out. It actually looked like it almost facepalmed there. So we got the Steel Beam not taking Ivysaur out. Holy smokes, that is bulky. And now it's going to go for Leech Seed. So it's stalling me out again. Man. At this stage, I was like, well, I don't want to go for Dynamax on Ivysaur with a little bit of health here. And I've got my other moves options as Shadow Ball, King Shield, and Shockwave. And I don't really want to have this thing have a Leech Seed up either. And, well, I don't want to have a Leech Seed on my Aegislash. So I thought, well, I could swap this out and bring it back in later, I could always Dynamax it later on if I need to. So I'm swapping out here and going into my other Doublade, which was the special set. Now they're going to swap their Ivysaur. I was like, what? And we got the Tapu Fini coming in. Now, this thing was a pain. Like, this thing has been a pain in the ass the whole time, I got to admit. So it's going to be the shiny Tapu Fini. It's got the Misty Surge on the field. Things are getting a little bit misty around here. Now, I do have Shockwave, and I've got Metal Sound. So, like, okay, I'll go for Metal Sound. And Tapu Fini's going to go for Protect. So, like, okay, that sucks. So, my Metal Sound's not going to work. At this stage, I thought it might be a Troll stalling set, so I was like, let's just go ahead and go for Shockwave. It's got Water Gun. Water Gun Tapu Fini, people. Only on pretty much out. So I'm going for the Shockwave, and, it doesn't do very good. Well, it doesn't do very good damage. Now it's going to trap me in with a Whirlpool here. I thought I might go for Protect again, so I didn't go for the Metal Sound, and I just kept going for Shockwave. So it's got Whirlpool, and it's got Protect and Water Gun. What is this Tapu Fini set? So Doublade is like just suddenly down to half health. I'm like, what is going on? And now it's going to go for Water Gun again. I thought it might go for Protect this time. So I went for the Metal Sound. So now I'm going to go for Protect again. But the problem is Whirlpool's going to do damage at the end of the turn, so I won't be able to land a Shockwave on it. I mean, I do have a Shockwave on my Aegislash, though, so unfortunately Doublade is going to get trolled completely there. Man, I should have gone for Dynamax Doublade, like DD, big Dynamax Doublade. So now it's going to go for Water Gun, and yes, Doublade is going to be taken out by a Water Gun. You'll never ever hear that sentence again. So bye-bye Doublade. It's about time I took this Tapu Fini out because it's being a mega troll. So into Aegislash now. It does have the Metal Sounds. It's got -2 in special defense, but Tapu Fini is going to swap out, and Mamoswine's going to come in. I'm like, oh, come on. So obviously Shockwave's going to do nothing to Mamoswine. And it's going to be a ground type and all. So at this is where things, this is where I snapped. I was like, you know what, that's it. I'm going for Dynamax right now. It's time for a Desperation Dynamax. I haven't even taken a single freaking Pokemon out, I'm starting, the salt levels are starting to rise, people. So in Dynamax, I can go for a Steel Beam, and that'll do, that should easily take out Mamoswine, especially, attacking with its big special attack stat. I mean, this was a good offensive Pokemon. It really, really was. So Aegislash is at half health, which is good there. So I should be able to sustain some sort of a hit in Dynamax. Maybe. It depends. So go for the Max Steel Spike on the Mamoswine, and that was it. You can bet your ass that probably had like Fissure or some like troll move like that. So bye-bye Mamoswine. And that's good. That's good. I finally took a Pokemon out. It's only taken me, let me have a look. It's taken me over half the battle just to take out a single Pokemon. Jeez. So Leftover's going to give me some extra health there, and in comes Ivysaur. So I'm like, all right, okay, this is right for the plucking. I can go for Max Phantasm and just take this little troll out. So bye-bye Ivysaur. I took it out with a teapot and a gumboot. Felt good. So that's the end of Ivysaur. So suddenly I'm starting to get back in the game here, people. So I've got some more Leftover recovery, which is good. And the next Pokemon that's going to come in here is going to be the Tapu Fini, the Water Gun Tapu Fini. So I was like, okay. Well, I can go for Max Lightning here, and even if it doesn't take... you know what? It should take it out. It should take it out from this range, but let's say it didn't. I will put the the Electric Ray on the field will come from the Max Lightning, so Shockwave will be powered up. That's the only thing about Shockwave. It's good when people trying to spam like Double Team and Evasion, but man, the base power is only 60, so it's like really, really bad. So obviously the the Tapu Fini is going to go for Protect, of course, and have to stall out another turn, and that's the end of my Dynamax. But the good thing about this is at least Electric Terrain's on the field. I can go for a powered up Shockwave and hopefully take it out, which would be very, very good because that means that's half the team down. So Aegislash is now out of his Dynamax. My opponent isn't Dynamax yet either, which was a little bit of worry. Here comes Shockwave, and there goes Tapu Fini. So very good. I've taken out all the trolls so far. It's very, very good. I mean, Mamoswine didn't do much there, but you know that it had Fissure, right? You know that it had Fissure. So that's going to be some leftover recovery there for Aegislash. Next Pokemon's going to be Mewtwo. Like, watch this. Like, this is really funny. So Mewtwo, right? Obviously, we're outspeeding, and it's got pressure too. Now, Mewtwo, it's a metronome Mewtwo set. Like, watch this. Mewtwo got a perfect move. It got Lovely Kiss, but the Electric Terrain actually blocked it. So Mewtwo tried to kiss the Aegislash, and it didn't work out. That was so lucky because that was hitting. And Mewtwo's going to go down to a Shadow Ball. So bye-bye Mewtwo. Man, every one of these sets is a troll set. Like, every single, like, down to the last Pokemon. So we got Drifblim there, but there was one more Pokemon I was really scared of in the team preview, and that was going to be the Flareon. So I don't know what sort of Fire-type move this thing's going to have. It's, let's be real, it's probably going to have like Ember or Fire Spin, but in Dynamax, it's going to be the same sort of base power, so it's going to be very, very scary. Plus, I've only got 3 more Pokemon left here. So Dynamax Flareon. And this could be any sort of Fire-type move, regardless, right? Now, I've got a Honedge left, but that's not going to do a lot of damage with Shadow Sneak. I went for Shadow Ball here. That was my strongest move, and it did virtually nothing to Flareon. Flareon's got some good bulk there on the special side, plus it's got the Dynamax suit. So bye-bye Aegislash. You got Newt there by Max Flare, and any Fire-type moves now are going to hit really, really hard because that sun's up on the field, That's why I put Head Smash on my other Aegislash, like any fire types, I can actually, try and do some good damage to. So going into the Blood Sword Honedge here, I just went for Shadow Sneak. I knew that I was going to get outspared. It did virtually nothing, right? But, some damage is better than none, right? Here comes Max Flare, and here goes Honedge. So I've only got one more Pokeball left there, and it's going to be my my Aegislash. This is more competitive set. And that's the end of the Electric Terrain too, which is fine. And now I'm going to bring in Aegislash here. So this is my chance here. I thought about going for King Shield, but then they went for Max Guard. I was like, what the hell? Now I went for Head Smash. I was like, I've got to get rid of this stupid Flareon, it's destroying my team. And Head Smash is going to hit the Max Guard there, which is good, So now Flareon is going to be out of its Dynamax. I wonder who would have outsped who were there in that matchup. You never know. So Flareon is going to get a Head Smash miss. I was like, what? And then it went for a Willow miss. I'm like, what sort of set is this? There's 60 seconds left of the battle. Unfortunately, my Aegislash is burned, and I missed the first Head Smash. Like, that literally should have missed. So now Aegislash is going to go for Head Smash this time. It's going to, hit the Flareon, and, it's still enough to take it out because it did have some prior damage there. But the last Pokemon is that that Drifblim, you know, from the very, very early Drifblim from the start of the battle. That's going to be the end of the Sunshine too. I actually want to know what move Flareon had. I'm going to bet right now that it was Fire Spin. I absolutely can bet that it was Fire Spin. So we get down to 10 seconds of the very last battle, and it's going to outspeed me and go for Hex. God damn, that's the end of Aegislash, and that's the end of this video. Hope you enjoyed the Honedge Evolution team. Some really fun battles there. I'll be back tomorrow for another video, and yeah, peace out, people.